Team, welcome back. This week's Saturday tester is called Talk to Someone 2.0. Talk to Someone refers to the fact that we here at the Process Programming are helping to raise awareness for mental health for the month of October. So this week's workout is a partner workout. In similar fashion to last year, we will be incorporating the barbell into this week's Saturday tester. In teams of 2, we have an 18-minute AMRAP. We're moving through 3 variations of the barbell. For our Live program, we're going to be moving through front squats, power cleans, and squat cleans. For our Perform, Compete, and Elite program, we're moving through overhead squats, power snatches, and squat snatches. To change things up a little bit is every 2 minutes within that 18-minute AMRAP, you will be completing synchronized burpees with your partner. What will we be testing in this workout? Well, we've got 3 different variations of the barbell movement. So we've exposed all our athletes to all these movements in mainly an isolated fashion so far this year. So now it's about seeing how we can interchangeably move between the different variations of the barbell smoothly. Now, throwing in the burpees is just going to add some fatigue and a little bit of confusion and chaos to this workout. So it's also about transitions. When we transition from the barbell into the burpees, and then are we able to then transition back into that barbell and pick up the movement where we left off. As with any partner workout, communication and teamwork is going to be key. You and your partner can section up and break up that barbell movement any way you want. If you have an athlete who tends to be stronger with the barbell, then perhaps we bias repetitions towards that athlete. But remember, the burpees must be performed in synchronization, which means that you only can work at the speed of your slower athlete. So keep that in mind. 18 minutes is a long time to be chipping through essentially 2 different movements here. If you just peak too early and go too fast, you may have that slower athlete slowing down the overall team performance because you can only move as fast as them if you're doing synchronized movements. How does today's workout fit in with our current training cycle? We are about to move into a bit of a deload next week. It's a deload because for our Live, Perform, Compete athletes, we are 4 weeks through our training program now, just breaking up the 8-week cycle slightly. For our Elite subscribers, we've just finishing an 8-week training cycle. So this week's a bit of a freestyle week anyway, before we pick up and get into our new training block. Now, with regards to pacing, the most important thing we need to acknowledge here is firstly, that AMRAP, it's 18 minutes. So generally on the longer side of what we typically do here on our Saturday testers. But the next thing we need to look at is actually the movement selection. We know the movement selection, the majority of our time is going to be spent on that barbell. We know that every 2 minutes we're going to have to complete anywhere between 8 to 12 synchronized burpee, depending on which program you're in. So that really means you've got about 90 seconds as a pairing to be moving through those barbell repetitions. Now, the next thing to acknowledge is that the barbell movements, whilst they may be changing through 3 different variations, are essentially the same movement. So it's really important we have to have some foresight when we start this workout here to think in the second half of this workout is really where the reps and the time is going to be made up. If we push too fast and hold on to big unbroken sets too early, we're just going to start to fade, and a lot of time is going to be wasted where we're not actually getting repetitions in the second half of this workout. The next thing to consider is when we look at the movements, the complexity of the movements is actually increasing as we go through. So for all 3 groups, it starts with a squatting variation. Then it moves to a power variation of an Olympic lift, and then it moves to the most complex, which is a squatting variation of Olympic lift. Not only is the complexity increasing throughout the workout, but fatigue will also be increasing through the workout. So essentially, you're having to hit the hardest movement when you're under the highest level of fatigue. So when it comes to pacing, you just have to bear that in mind. What we don't want is just to race through those easier movements and then get bottlenecked by the more complex movement later on. Before we close out, you will recognize that I'm wearing a lovely green shirt today, and I also have this beautiful green ribbon on my chest. Green is the official color for mental health this year, and what we encourage to all of our Process Programming community around the world, or if you're not in our community and you're just going to throw down and do this workout, stick on a green shirt and let's do this workout in green. We're also giving you the opportunity to make some donations to the charity that we're supporting here in Hong Kong, which is Mind Hong Kong. Just click on the link and you can make any donation you like. To those of you in the Process Programming, make sure you record your scores on WhatUp. Your data is key to allow us to design a training program that fits your needs and how your body is feeling. To those who are outside of the Process Programming community, we'd love it if you could just write down your scores in the comments below on any of our social media channels. And remember, to those who aren't in our community, remember we have a 14-day free trial. Make sure you read our prerequisites, make sure you read our goals, and if those 2 things align with you, then we'd love to have you in the program.